The Middle East is witnessing a sharp new diplomatic crisis after joint US-Saudi airstrikes inside Iraq targeted what Washington described as Iran-backed terrorist sites. The strikes reportedly hit multiple locations in eastern Iraq and, according to Iraqi former paramilitary alliance sources cited by AFP, killed at least 10 fighters, while other reports put the death toll at 20 Iraqi fighters. The operation was launched after the US accused Iran-backed groups of carrying out more than 30 drone attacks against American forces and Saudi energy infrastructure over the past 72 hours. The strikes have triggered an angry response from Baghdad. Former Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani condemned the operation as a flagrant violation of Iraq's sovereignty, saying it targeted Popular Mobilization Forces headquarters rather than terrorist sites. Sudani argued Iraq had already formed investigative committees to examine allegations that drones had been launched from Iraqi territory towards Saudi oil facilities. He also announced the postponement of his planned visit to Saudi Arabia, signaling a sharp deterioration in ties following the strikes. The dispute now centers on two competing narratives. US Central Command says the strikes targeted Iran-aligned terrorist logistics and weapons sites directed by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to attack US forces and Saudi infrastructure. Iraq, however, insists the targets were part of the Popular Mobilization Forces, a state-recognized security institution. Baghdad has invoked Article 51 of the UN Charter, saying it reserves the right to defend its sovereignty against foreign military action. The diplomatic divide is also widening across the Gulf. Bahrain has publicly condemned attacks by Iran-backed groups on Saudi oil facilities, aligning itself with Riyadh's security concerns. The joint operation now appears to be evolving beyond a counter-terrorism mission into a broader regional confrontation involving Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Iran-backed armed groups, and the United States. The developments raise fresh questions over Iraq's role as the geopolitical fault line between Washington's allies and Iran's regional network. With casualties mounting and diplomatic tensions rising, attention is now turning to what comes next. Iraq has warned it will defend its sovereignty, while the US has warned that Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and its proxies must cease attacks or face further military action.